Assalamu alaikum. Beautiful evening in Lahore. Today is 10th of February 2026. So, these past few years have been, spent really well working, writing a lot. Uh, I have collaborated with ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok to write quite a few manuscripts and to now put our right context to all those manuscripts, uh, dozens of manuscripts. It is that what I was trying to find the relationship of traditional culture, modernity, and then economics. uh, the point to make is that culturally, uh, this world, this 21st century is culturally a really rich place, whereas there is a significant importance to modernity, whereas what really matters is a cup of coffee, sitting with friends, sitting with family members, uh, going out for dinner, uh, watching television, watching movies, having a great time with friends and family. And it is a lot about consumerism, simple consumerism. Uh, we as consumers like to consume technology products, while at the same time we want to express ourselves very aesthetically. And the best aesthetics are drawn from a rich culture, rich tradition. Culture is related with religion as well. Muslim culture is a very enriching culture. Similarly, the Western world, uh, which might be considered as predominantly Christian world, also draws a lot of motivation from Christianity to represent humane culture, whereas modernity is all about technology, technology products, while at the same time economics is at the center of it. So that's what all my manuscripts, written solely single authored by me, as well as collaborated with large language models, try to do is try to find uh, the economic reasoning to our rich cultural heritage, as well as the modern world of 21st century, which is a very technology savvy world. So, I have been making some brief videos about my income equation, non-linear dynamic income equation, uh, long-term economic development or long-term economic growth really depends on institutions, globalization, and human capital. In mathematics, when you work with variables, you can define them quite dynamically. For example, in my early videos, I have mentioned that one of the instruments for institutions was languages being spoken in countries, European and English language. Now, language is really something which represents culture if you think about it. Even in the dark ages, the language was there. For example, European languages and English languages represent a lot of enriching cultural heritage. Dark ages, though, represented by ignorance. Uh, but people, normal, average people, used to communicate in the languages, which is European languages. Many of the European languages are English language, which they still speak. And these languages represent expressions, aesthetic expressions, cultural expressions, notions of trust, dignity, bravery, honesty, love. So, the average time span during the Dark Ages was at least 40, 50, or 60 years. So if you represent even Dark Ages through languages, one can represent the lifestyle and define the lifestyle through enriching cultural heritage, representing exchange of expressions which represent noble human values like dignity, trust, love, aesthetics. So one can assume that what the instrument, which is European or English speaking population, would represent rich cultural heritage. So what exactly institutions are representing? Institutions are representing cultural heritage. Now coming to the human capital aspect, the variable which enters into the equation on the right hand side, the modernity is represented by technology and STEM research, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics and management sciences. So if years of schooling are instrumented by test scores in mathematics, English, and science, what they represent is modern and secular knowledge. What they will represent is modernity. So institutions are being measured by rich cultural heritage represented by European and English speaking language, whereas human capital or years of schooling is instrumented by modernity. And globalization would measure the economics, the mundane economics. International trade, exports and imports represent the rich consumption patterns internationally for all community of nations. Countries trade in technology goods, they trade in agricultural goods, they trade in manufacturing goods. But at the core of it, international trade represents consumption patterns within countries. For example, Pakistan imports more, and it's basically a consumer society. Same is true with a lot of Latin American and African countries. So I have reimagined